Hello and welcome, this is Rooflemonger, and the new patch is now live on the Dragon Ball FighterZ servers. This is officially patch 1.17, and this is the patch that will prepare for Kid Goku. Now on top of that, there's more to this patch than just the new character being added, as they have reworked training mode, and for the better, I'll tell you that, definitely for the better, and there's a couple new things as well here. And first off, before anything else here, just look at Guldo's new and improved speed. What? Such speed! That's right, so instead of the old warp menu, you now just literally can hold L2 and just kind of choose where you want to go from there. So even old Guldo now is just as fast as Birder. So that's really a nice little feather in his cap. So I do have some early details for you for Kid Goku GT as well, but first before that, I want to show you the new and improved training mode. So training mode now has a couple new features. We'll start with the little one here, and we'll work our way to the big one, because the big one's kind of a big deal. But if we go to enemy settings here, we now have guard cancel stuff. So if we set the enemy to guard all, and before they could do like all sorts of reversal stuff and all that, right? But now we can set it to that the enemy can now also legit this guard cancel without having to manually set it up, which was always an annoyance. They had like manually record stuff. And on top of that, you can also set, time till guard cancel, so they can do delay guard cancels, that kind of stuff, which is also very important for testing out setups and all that. That's very, very good. And on top of the guard cancel, you can now have them set to sparking blast on block, which is great. And once again, you can just kind of set up for delays and all that. You can set to Z reflect on block, so anything that's reflectable, like say key blasts, you can now have them reflect that on block, which is awesome. And same deal here, super dash. If they can super dash on block, they can. So when you're going to test setups, when you're going to test all your gimmicks and gigas and all that kind of stuff, this extra layer will just make your job a lot easier, and it's fantastic. Also, on top of that, there's new counterattack settings. So as you can see here, we can just have our directions put in here. So it could be any of the 4 cardinal directions, a diagonal, quarter circle forward, quarter circle back, and we can hit a button. So now we can basically custom set up our own stuff. So we don't have to worry about the previous, kind of pre-baked options. Any combination of a motion and a button, we can now set for ourselves. And also there's a delay timer as well. So that is also just another fantastic layer for people who want to lab their setups, lab their, just whatever you got. These two changes are fantastic. And these are the small changes. Let's just show you the big change now. So now we see these words here, attack startup, frame advantage. What's going on here? Well, we now finally have frame data in Dragon Ball FighterZ training mode. Frame data has always been really iffy with Dragon Ball FighterZ, and you got to kind of go to the depths of the internet to find it out. And now we finally have it available to us in training mode. I feel, honestly, this is a little bit of a kick in the pants, because Dead or Alive 6 and Mortal Kombat 11 both have extensive frame data in training mode. So now Dragon Ball FighterZ can finally join in with the rest of the cast. So, you will only see your attack startup if it hits, just so you know. So we can see here Broly has a 7-frame jab versus someone faster like Cooler. Cooler has a 6-frame jab. We can see that kind of stuff here. You can also see the frame advantage on hit, or if you set them to block everything here, then we'll see the frame advantage on block, because, moves tend to be negative on block, all that kind of fun stuff, right? So we can now see everything as far as frame data goes, and that's really fantastic. So when you're testing your stuff, you can see your startups, you can see if you're advantage on a setup, if you're negative on a setup, and all that kind of stuff. And also, on top of that, we now have invincibility. So we can see here if moves are invincible. So if we're backdashing, it says here, invincibility, throws. If we do Cooler's quarter circle back, medium here, that's his uppercut here, that's full invincible, as it says right there. So we now know, okay, well then we can see what has invincibility, what doesn't here. His down forward heavy is invincible to projectiles, as you can see here. So you get all these sorts of details here of what is invincible to what. Even like a homing dash, invincible to key blast. The only thing, and since I'm a Broly player, I came across this very quickly, it has some trouble distincting between invincibility and armor. As it says, like stuff like a shoulder charge is invincible when it isn't. It's armor, and it's not frame 1 armor either, so it's definitely not invincible. It is armored, but still, I guess maybe they didn't think to put that in. I don't know. It's a little quibble. But if you know a move is armored, it'll say invincible instead. But still, between this and the frame data and all that kind of fun stuff, fantastic. I love it. Now, we did mention this is indeed the Kid Goku patch, and Kid Goku is not live on PlayStation 4. Apparently he's live on Switch. I don't know. I don't have a Switch version, so I can't check that. But he's not live on PlayStation 4. but he is in the arcade mode. I haven't used the arcade mode since like the game launched, but he is in the arcade mode. So if you can find him, and honestly, it took me about, I don't know, I'd say like half an hour of constantly restarting before I finally found a match with Kid Goku in it. But if you want to bring Ginyu and you want to just body swap with Kid Goku, then you can play around with him. So right here, this is his move list. So he has quarter circle back, quarter circle forward, 2 beams, and 3 supers, 1 level 1 and 2 level 3s. So here are the light, medium, and heavy versions of Dragon Flurry Fist. As you can see here, the EX version specifically, it seems to have a longer wall bounce than the other one did. That could be handy, you know, maybe. The big energy ball there you saw is the Dragon Flash Fist. It seems to be mostly the same, either on air or on ground. That's the EX version right there. I can't really see what the property is, other than maybe it's a good combo ender. Kamehameha, this one's interesting. So the grounded version, if you hold the S button, you will actually travel forward. If you just let go of it right away, you'll just do a Kamehameha on the spot. And as you can see, it is angled upwards a little bit. But if you hold it, he'll run forward with it and then do it, which I found very interesting to say the least. And he also has an air version, and it's in a very aggressive angle down to the ground. That's going to be really strong for screen control. It's a very, very aggressive angle, and I really like that. This here is his level 1 super. So you can see he turns Super Saiyan 3. That's because we have 1 dead person on our team. Otherwise, he just turned Super Saiyan 1. I'm assuming you did get a little more damage on top of the cinematic being different. But this is his level 1 super, and it's a nice, just classic beam super. And here is the level 3 with 1 person on your team down. So here he is, Super Saiyan 4 Goku in the flesh. Does the Dragon Uppercut here. And yeah, it is just a cinematic, I'm very sorry to say. Apparently there's some voice lines that are unique to him. So it turns out he might be a skin for Super Saiyan Goku, but who knows, that's just pure speculation. But yeah, so this is what it looks like. It looks really cool, and I'll show you what the regular version looks like if it's not going to be Super Saiyan. And here is the regular level 3, so this is when everyone on your team is alive. And he just rushes forward and just goes for it, just like he killed King Piccolo. And yeah, I honestly kind of like that more than Super Saiyan 4 version myself, because I'm not really a fan of Super Saiyan 4. But I think that looks pretty sweet. And yes, his alternate level 3 is a Spirit Bomb as well. Due to the travel time and all that kind of stuff, it might be difficult to get into combos, like it is somewhat difficult for, say, base Goku. Since this is versus the AI, I don't have a lot of time to practice with it, and I won't be able to test a lot of this stuff until it's like out properly. Here's the regular level 1 when someone on your team is not gone, so he just turns Super Saiyan 1. Once again, you can do this yourself, but it's going to be hard to lab because the computer is not going to sit still for you. But, you know, more than feel free to give it a try yourself. Also, here's some of his stand S attacks here. The power pole is the real deal when it comes to range. Also, in the air, you can hit down S and come down like a pogo, like your Rolento in Street Fighter 4. But yeah, his normals are really small. I see here that's a down L, and yes, a down L is a low hitting down L. This is his auto combo here. But so everything he has is like baby T-Rex range, except for the power pole. The power pole has a lot of range. You can homing dash cancel it and get like some sort of conversion from it. So he's gonna be a weird one. I don't know really. We gotta wait for him to come out properly so we can do all the training mode testing, all that kind of stuff. But he's certainly interesting. He's probably going to be like a dynamo character, like he's really going to buzzsaw you up close. But with the threat of the power pole, he can have a pretty commanding full screen presence as well. So it's going to be funny. Like, look how far that hits from. Like, yeah, if you take a hit, you trade, sure, whatever. But that is not nothing. That is pretty ridiculous. He's completely safe. He doesn't risk anything for doing it. It just seems really good. Now, right here, I know the footage is not the best because he's kind of hidden inside Broly's massive hitbox here. But this is his assist. It is the up beam here. So it's not going to be as good as a traditional beam, but it's an interesting angle to say at least, and has different full screen presence than some other assists. I'm sure it'll be good up close like any kind of beam is, appropriately decent blocks and all that kind of stuff. It might not be as universally useful as a regular beam, but I think it still could be pretty good. And that's everything I have for you right now. So Kid Goku will launch shortly, probably within the next day or so. And once again, you can use this trick here if you want to, get him a little early using Ginyu, because Ginyu is the one who's the one piloting Goku right now in these videos, right? But yeah, the training mode stuff's really good. Kid Goku has a lot of potential to be a very interesting character. I know the lack of Super Saiyan 4 being its own thing is a little disappointing, but hey, maybe this rumor of it being a skin for Super Saiyan Goku is a thing. I don't know about that. But all I know is character looks cool. Really happy about the patch, the training mode changes the patch brought in. And yeah, that's it for this video. So he'll be out shortly enough, and then we can have all the usual combos, tips, and tricks and that stuff then. But till then, my friends, that is it for this video. So thank you very much for watching. I hope this video has found you well. Go out and play some Dragon Ball.